Now you want a motion for it?
No, it's information.
No, but the next motion.
Okay. The next item on the agenda will be approval to submit request for waiver of Illinois School Code mandate to substitute teachers. Motion made by Mr. Anderson, seconded by Ms. Hannah, to approve the request for the waiver of Illinois School mandate to substitute teachers. Discussion. Roll call.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. McBride?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Hannah?
Yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Reddick?
Yes.
Mr. Shipley?
Yes, motion carried. Next item will be grants and donations. I don't believe
There are none.
Okay, we'll move on. Item B is other. One is a proposed policy number 6180, independent research in Waukegan schools. It's the second reading.
And it's the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Education accept the recommendations for proposed policy number 6180, independent research in Waukegan schools, research policy for inclusion in the Waukegan Public Schools Policy Manual.
I so move.
Motion made by Ms. Jones, seconded by Ms. Hannah. Discussion?
Yes. Dr. Batiste, this is something unusual. I've never
Dr. Webb?
come across.
Yes. We often get a number of requests from outside or internal requests from staff members pursuing higher degrees, or from college university like Dr. Pate and Dr. Sherman. They asked for our participation. We currently did not have a policy to address that, or procedures to address that. So, being proactive, we're initiating this policy to go into the policy manual. Coupled with this are specific procedures as to what the process is to get research approved for conducting it in the Waukegan schools. This,
I mean, has there been something specific that came across your desk or something to prompt you?
not yet.
And there have been those in the past that have crossed my desk when I was down in the Division of Academic Affairs, specifically by students who wanted to conduct research using data, sources from our schools, or to interview teachers, students, and the like. But we didn't have a policy upon which to rely.
So we're being proactive. We also created a procedure for internal, for principals that are looking for information for their school. They're trying to ask and answer specific questions. So we're just trying to tighten things up, and it's a proactive measure. It's not a reactive measure to any specific request as of yet.
So one thing I would ask that you include in it is something protecting privacy things. You know, that would go under rules and regs, wouldn't it?
It's also cross-referenced under 7030,
Yeah.
confidentiality and maintenance of personally identifiable information.
All right.
Yes.
Dr. Ryan, with regard to, we have some teachers that are doing research with regard to Waukegan. And I know I attended a program this summer. With the research that we're doing, would that come under this policy also if they decided to publish some of the information or locations?
I believe you're talking about the summer.
Lake Forest.
Lake Forest, yes.
The research regarding that, I think, was to improve instructional strategies within their own classroom. This would not really pertain to that. It's when they're, like, if somebody would want to come in and say, we want to get all of the data on the 8th grade students across the district, or a specific population of students, our Asian students, our Hispanic students. But when teachers are dealing with the data within their own classroom for instructional purposes, this would not pertain.
And that's called action research, where they are the actual participants in the study, and they are using their experiential base and the observations that they're making of the students to help inform best practices for teaching and learning.
And so we're going to spell that out in this policy, right? So that somewhere down the line, it won't get mixed up.
Right, and anybody who participates, if they wanted to use students, or we would have to get permission slips from parents, and we'd have to be able to disclose to the parents or the teachers, for example, an overview of what the study will entail, and we would not be releasing any information that would violate the confidentiality of any of the students, and we would be certain that the research practices would not subject the participants to anything that would be considered detrimental or harmful to them.
Thank you. Roll call?
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. McBride?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Hannah?
Yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Reddick? Shipley?
Yes, motion carried. The next item is the approval of the appointment of members to the Waukegan School Foundation Board of Directors. Chair will entertain a motion.
I so move.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get a recommendation. I'm sorry.
Thank you, though.
Give us our recommendation.
It's the administration's recommendation that the Board of Education accept the Waukegan Schools Foundation and the administration's recommendations to appoint Mrs. Michelle Ogleton and Mrs. Jeannie Kirby as active Waukegan Public Schools Foundation directors or members, effective on or about December 12, 2006, for a 3-year period ending on or about December 12, 2009. Mr. Howard is the person who chairs that for our district. Could you share with this committee the function or the purpose of the Waukegan Schools Foundation?
The Schools Foundation is to raise money in order to help the schools of the district. What they do is they provide finances by number one, we provide grants to teachers. We do this in the winter and spring of the year, whereby we provide $1,000 grants up to anywhere from $10,000 in grants for teachers to do different projects with the students. Also, we have a golf outing that we raise money in June, which we use that money also to provide assistance to the schools. In the past, we've provided technology equipment, and Ms. Green can probably speak to that. Ms. Judy Green concerning the technology that Schools Foundation provides. Judy, want to talk about that?
Well, the schools applied for that, right? The schools applied for the
Right.
foundation, and sometimes they were able to obtain additional peripheral or a computer for a library center or a learning center of some kind. And I think that possibly a project that was at Clark might have even gone through the foundation, where they had something that wasn't quite a computer, but another form of technology that they purchased in the robotics programs and things like that. So it has been a wonderful support to the classroom teacher, and the classroom teacher applies for those monies to support their integrated.
And this foundation meets monthly, and Mrs. Jones is the board's representative on this committee.
Mr. Anderson.
And Mr. Anderson.
Mr.